Hi, this is Praios and I'm a professional gambler. Today we will talk about a somewhat unusual topic for me because I'm a huge advocate for online poker and yeah, I never was huge into live, but I found this very interesting sounding video from Phil Galfond and it is about the top 5 live poker tips. And yeah, we will listen to the master Phil Galfond himself, and I will also give my commentary to what he has to say. So, but before we can get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, depending on the platform you are looking into this. And yeah, without further ado, let's now get into it.
So, top 5 tips to play in your first tournament,
Okay.
or is that a bad one?
It's not a bad one. And I would apply it maybe even to kind of playing in the casino for the first time. Because it could be. I do remember, because I played online a decent amount before I played in the casino, and it can be daunting going in there. And so, okay, let's try. So,
it's a bit annoying, but he's always completely unprepared, or to me at least, he seems to be. I think he should have, from the editor, he should have been some time to prepare, like however long it takes. I mean, maybe he can come up with 5 tips in 3 minutes, or he needs 10 minutes, but they should have a break between that, so that it's that the quality of the content goes up.
tip number 1 is when in doubt, declare your bets out loud, verbally. A lot of people, when they're new to playing live, they will put out their bets in a way that is not legal. And so let's say
sometimes you will make mistakes. He's completely right. For example, you throw in one big chip, it's supposed to be a raise, but if you don't say raise, it's considered a call if it's just one chip. You're also not allowed to do string bets, like throwing in a couple of chips and then grabbing your chip stick again, throw in another one and another one. Only the first that got thrown in would count. So yeah. Declare your action at best, verbally as well, so that there can be no misunderstandings.
Somebody raises to $2, they put out $2, and then they go back and put out 4 more, and they say, they're raising to 6. You can't. Once you put out the 2, you're done with your turn.
Yeah, that's considered a string bet, by the way.
However, if before you do anything with your hands, you say raise to 6, then that's binding. And even if you put out $300, which would be pretty hard to make that mistake, but you could, it's $6 that you raise to. So your first couple of times, I would verbally declare your bets. Man, it's a tough list to make. Number 2, give yourself time so that you're not stressed. You're going to be stressed enough going into a live environment or live tournament environment for the first time. Just show up a little bit early. Expect that there's time at the registration line and to find your table and things like that can slow you down, and you'd rather be going in with a clear head and a calm head. Number 3, I would say,
what also is a very good tip if you are low profile like me, just bring in a poker starting hand chart with you. Like, high card got beaten from 1 pair and 2 pair beats 1 pair and so on and so forth. And if you put this in front of you, people will assume that you are a huge fish. So that's, I did this once. It was hilarious.
kind of play the part of.
I mean, I might have given away that I'm not a fish, because there were situations where 2 pair got counterfied and the dealer was trying to ship the money to the wrong guy, and nobody at the table, 10 guys, noticed. I mean, I saw it, and it was a huge fish who was going to get the pot stolen from him, and I said, no, stop, you look, his 2 pair got counterfied. But people are just stupid, but still didn't recognize that I'm probably not a beginner.
Being more comfortable than you actually are. People make mistakes at poker tables all the time, even if they've had a bit of experience. And if you just act like you're comfortable, I think people won't be able to identify as easily that it's your first time playing. And you don't want them to have that information at the table because that's something they can take advantage of. Number 4, if you're ever unsure about what action is taking place.
Yeah, don't take ships from fish. The fish also wanted to give me a free drink afterwards. So he was like, "Oh man, thank you very much. I owe you one."
Place or what your options are, you can always just ask the dealer. So, there's a bet and a raise to you, and you're not sure how much you have to put in, or how much you're allowed to re-raise to, or whatever the case may be. Just stop and look at the dealer and say.
It's also always very hard to figure out what the pot raise is if you play pot limit Omaha in a live environment. Unfortunately, at least in my experience, often the dealers are also very bad in figuring out what a pot size raise is. So you at best should be able to do the math on your own, because often you will get told wrong numbers.
What can I do here? Or how much can I make it? Or whatever the case may be. Just ask and they'll tell you. And that is kind of giving an indication that you're unsure about that spot, but it's worth it rather than, thinking that you can't do something that you can. This reminds me of a completely unrelated thing. So I was...
It's also very easy to act out of turn in live casinos, because some people are just wasting so much time making their decisions, and you think that it's already on you and you throw away your cards, but in reality 2 or more guys were already in front of you, or you throw in chips and the guy in front of you wasn't acting yet. So this is also something you need to keep in mind, and you shouldn't make these mistakes too. And people will also get angry when you act out of turn. So this is something you should definitely avoid.
So when I was, I think I must have been 11 or 12.
Sometimes also, some people give away already when they want to fold their hands. They are also like impatient and already have their hands, their cards ready for the mug and stuff, so that you sometimes know that the guy behind you wants to throw away his cards. So this is also a very nice tell that some people have.
This is back when there were Blockbusters. So at my local Blockbuster, they would do these video game competitions. And so you'd play 3 games. This was on Sega Genesis. You'd play 3 games, and they would add up scores in each game, and you'd get on a board. And then if you placed in like whatever, you would get a free game. If you won, you would move on, and there's like regionals. And so I played and I won for my Blockbuster, my local Blockbuster. So I went to regionals, and we played in regionals. It was huge. There were so many people there, and I was 11 or 12.
Is this about poker or is this something else? This doesn't sound about poker.
And the first round, I was playing NBA Jam against an 18-year-old. And if I'm remembering correctly, the best team, like far and away, were the Charlotte Hornets. And so we got there. It was our turn to play. We go up. There's like a ref, and he says to the 18-year-old, who do you pick? Who do you want as your team? He said Charlotte Hornets. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I just picked the second best team, which I don't even remember. It turns out that if I also wanted the Charlotte Hornets, we would flip a coin, but I didn't know that. And I didn't ask, what are my options, or, does he get to pick first? Like, how did that happen? And so I got demolished. I probably would have lost to this guy anyways. But there's an important lesson there, which is just ask.
Yeah, I think actually there's a more important lesson there. So be certain about the rules in the card room you are playing in. So yeah, sometimes they got some strange rules or some other things. So you have to keep this in mind always. And yeah, good to know about these things. So this was more a rule thing than ask thing. But yeah, obviously, if you are not unsure about the rules, you should ask. For example, not sure how this is handled live and if it's handled the same way in every casino. Online, it usually is the case when someone does not has a full bet left in pot limit Omahas. Let's say someone raises to whatever 100 and the next guy goes all in for 150 and the pot before was very small. Then this will be not considered a full raise and it's not reopening the action, but it might be different from casino to casino. So make sure you know about that ahead so that you can plan the hand. And if you don't know, obviously ask, like he advised.
And number 5, I guess number 5, I would say just try to remember to have fun. Playing your first live tournament can be stressful. There's a lot to worry about. There's a lot you might get wrong or worry about getting wrong. But the reason you're doing it is hopefully in large part because you'll enjoy it and the experience will be exciting and you're going to gain experience along the way, no matter what happens in the actual tournament. So I would say, have high hopes and low expectations and have fun and just kind of tell yourself, I'm going in here to learn and to play.
Yeah, if you have fun at the things you are doing, you are usually also doing better and you are more motivated to learn and to explore new things and to get into the theory. But yeah, I also would have some more good advice. At least I hope that they are good. You have to judge. Playing live is extremely boring. So make sure to get there with a friend, although this does not help you in a huge multi-table tournament, but in a cash game, it helps a lot if you have a buddy with you and you can talk to them when you try to stay tight and aggressive, because it's very easy to also become very loose because every hand takes like 5 minutes and you will get annoyed and it's so boring and you also start loosening up and playing way too many hands, and this should not happen. And also very important, if you are not in the hand, still pay attention, look into the pots, see what the people are doing, so you will be able much quicker to figure out who is the bad player, and you might even be able to pick up some tells which might help you later to make better decisions. So pay attention even when you are not in the hand. So that's also very important advice. I also think if you are a live player and I'm bad at that, but if you are good in reading people and learning to read the emotions and very small things in the body language and stuff, you could have a way bigger win rate. And also very important, in live environments, usually playing GTO is way less important than online, because you play against a lot more recreationals, and some live pros also are not that good in theory and don't know what to do exactly according to GTO. So GTO is way less important, and you have to shift your focus more to exploitative play. Okay, I think that's over, right?
To learn and to have fun, and whatever happens, if it goes great, awesome. If it doesn't, I've built up my understanding of the situation. I've built up my comfort, and next time I'll be that much more comfortable.
I think also another thing, people often get very overconfident, especially about their live edge. They think that it is like incredibly high, and they don't see how big variance is, and that they might even underestimate some of their opponents. And they also don't look into things that are also important, like how much time does it take to get there? How expensive is it to get there? Do I have to pay the drinks, which I don't have to pay when I play online, for example? The tips also add up. And if you don't tip, you might not be able to get seats anymore on live games, because dealers a lot of the dealer's income is from tips, and if a guy does not tip, they will be annoyed and will forget your reservations and stuff. So that's another thing. And yeah, also if you travel from far away, you might have to get a hotel. That's obviously also diminishing your returns, and you have to factor that in as well. And another thing is, let's say you win big, you get all this cash, you leave the casino, someone is waiting outside, beating you up and taking your money. So someone steals your funds. So this can happen way more easily live than online. So yeah, keep all this stuff in mind as well when you play online. And yeah, you obviously also can get cheated. It's the same as online. Even more things probably have to be considered. So be careful. Yeah, I think that's what was it. I hope this was helpful and entertaining. If you have more tips, please comment about that. I will answer all comments for sure. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you didn't do it already, do all the good things like liking, subscribing, following, all that good stuff. And yeah, remember that you should also follow me on Twitter and Twitch, because only on Twitch you can act live with me and I answer your questions, and you can interact with me in the chat as Lost Paradise did. By the way, thanks for turning in. Yeah, and that's only possible if you watching me live on Twitch. And if you follow me on Twitter, you will also be able to see when I'm going online. I will make announcements and stuff. Yeah. Thanks. Bye and good luck at the tables.